not below it. It's all real. It's real people killing each other. It's real war. Very powerful point you just made. I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, we've got such loaded phones here. I really got to hurry. I got to get into this free speech thing. I mean, that's really the big news. It's up on Infowars.com. It's so huge. Let's go to Andrea in California. Thanks for holding.
First-time caller and long-time listener. I was turned on to you by a friend that had to flee Cuba back when, and so he wasn't always here. I think it would have been like these. I'm not sophisticated. Let me get a couple thoughts out. That domestic violence is very similar to what's going on in the women that are being, that are involved in that. They get this, what you're talking about, being controlled through fear, and then they learn helplessness. We've learned helplessness as a country, I believe. It's hard to break through that, but that's what needs to be done. I'm really nervous. I need to. And then the First Amendment, that would mean that books, I love books, and I from you and Mark Stein, who writes about Canada and the European Union, and the no-go zones for police. They won't go there. It has to do with other things. And then one other point is, while we're not populating, there are other cultures that are at a rapid pace, and there's going to be many, many more of them than anybody else. I have a lot more to say, but I know you're in a hurry.
Well, no, that's a lot of really good points. And again, the globalists control the West, so they're programming the West to commit suicide. They will program the rest of the world to commit cultural suicide. Great points. I want to go to more of your calls here. Let's go to Mark in Indiana on Common Core. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex.
Yes, sir.
If you know, Indiana is the first state that bailed out of Common Core.
Yes, a lot of states are starting to bail out, and it's very exciting. It's pure evil.
I just thought you wanted to know.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and talk to Alex in California on Ukraine. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. Ukraine seems like a huge distraction, like your other caller was saying.
Well, no, they're absorbing the country and looting it under the IMF. It is a distraction, but they're really ruining that country, and then they're going to move on to the next country.
No, you're absolutely right. It's their just agenda. They're on the same agenda to just destabilize, get their Western-backed government in power, so they can totally just usurp all the rest of the power from all the government, from all the local governments, and just completely take over. I want to make a quick point on the global warming thing that's going on right now, though.
Well, I mean, they've got all these globalists running around saying 99% of scientists say it's real when the whole thing's collapsed. I mean, it's more, I invented the internet, raising the debt ceiling doesn't raise the debt, 2 + 2 = 5 garbage.
Exactly. And it's always based on a bunch of lies that they tell everybody, like that the world is overpopulated, overcrowded. The world is not overcrowded. There's 7 billion people in the world. Every single one of them could fit within inside Austin city limits. Austin city limits is about 321 square miles.
Well, let's be clear. There are some areas where humans are too packed in. We have some problems with some of our resource development systems and some of our toxic industrial systems, but we can transcend it all. We're being suppressed in an artificial dark age. Great points. I appreciate your call. All right, I'm going to go to Murph and others, Ed, Kathy, George, Rich, and Scott, after I get to this other news I've got. Man, I tell you, this attack on free speech is so big, I don't even know how I properly just cover it all. So my problem is I get obsessed with all the different minutiae and then never even get to it. But when we come back from break, I'm going to try to sum up the latest news and tie it into the larger plan of what they're doing. They're setting up these new internet police that even, again, the Boston Herald calls draconian, calls chilling. They're coming in with PAC SEC stuff to bring in election law against talk radio and internet media like Drudge and InfoWars. The FCC head has said that. And you're like, oh, who cares? Well, I mean, they arrested Dinesh D'Souza because he reportedly got 5 of his friends to give $3,000 to his college roommate who was running for the Senate and lost, but dared run for Hillary's old seat. I mean, Obama took hundreds of millions publicly from foreign donors, every donation a felony. Saudi money, you name it, Chinese government money. And literally, for a crooked toenail, Dinesh D'Souza is facing, 5 years in prison. So they're going to announce that I'm not allowed to say that I don't like Obama, and then they're going to try to have me arrested by the FBI. They will do it. They want to put me in jail. They're trying to shut down the pro-life groups, everybody. It is just dirtbag, pure evil. And if the American people put up with it, look, I'm going to keep saying whatever I want. I got the First Amendment, you scum. You filthy, degenerate, murdering, fascist, Al-Qaeda funding, degenerate, murderous, criminal, lying, evil White House. You anti-American, anti-family, viperous scum of the earth. Damn you to Hades. I am sick of you. And we've now gotten to the point, they shut off the free speech, they're going to take everything. Your pension funds, everything, and SWAT teams are literally going to take you to FEMA camps. They want to gut this country.
Harvest Right is the world's first in-home freeze dryer. Freeze dry your own fruits, vegetables, meats, and full meals. With Harvest Right, you can prepare foods that last 25 years, preserving its freshness, nutrition, color, and taste. All your food can be freeze-dried. So don't throw away your leftovers. Freeze-dry them with this incredible in-home money-saving freeze dryer. Go to HarvestRight.com to see how the Harvest Right freeze dryer works. That's HarvestRight.com.
Warnings of an American collapse hit us nearly every day. Gear up while you still can with Infidel Body Armor. Don't spend between $500 and $600. Infidel is available for just $374.99 with free shipping within the U.S. Made in America and legal in all 50 states. Resist tyranny with Infidel Body Armor. Buy yours today at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Spelled INFIDEL BodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
A 30-day GMO-free emergency food supply for only $99 at 30dayfoodsupply.com. You can purchase Oregon Trail Foods' 1-month supply of high-quality, nutritious, and healthy emergency meals. For less than $100, these vegetarian meals are naturally high in fiber, carbs, and protein, and they're packed with oxygen absorbers in Mylar pouches. They're completely free of any artificial flavors and colorings, have a 20-year shelf life, and take up to 70% less space than number 10 cans. They even offer a gluten-free option. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low by buying directly from the producers in Oregon and then passing the savings to you. Purchase a 30-day, 90-serving emergency food supply for only $99 this month, and $10 ships your entire order. Visit the website at 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. That's 30dayfoodsupply.com, where they make preparedness affordable. 30dayfoodsupply.com.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosate that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Come, you masters of war, you that build the big guns, you that build the death planes.
To quantify what the caller from Houston was saying earlier, there are famous letters. We ought to pull them up and find them. I saw it on Discovery Channel probably 20 years ago, and then later found it online once, where there were letters between the French Norman King and the British Norman King, who were cousins, first cousins, saying we're having uprisings in both our countries. We need to have a war. And then they would even predetermine where they were going to have a war. And then they would have a war. But, I mean, it was a real war. People died. And the British and French hate each other to this day. And most of it was totally fake. It was the Normans, who were really Vikings that conquered France, finding a way to kill off their populations of French and of Anglo-Saxons. So French and Anglo-Saxons were played off against each other to kill each other for the Vikings. People think, you know, the Vikings just ran around in ships robbing people. No, the Vikings took over Europe 1,000 years ago. And then they took over 900 and something years ago. They took over Britannia, Albion, Scotland, Ireland. And you know why they took over? Because they had everybody kill each other. That's why. Because they made backroom deals and said, let's kill our own people in a war. Now, they want to censor the internet, and they're doing it through moves to tax, CISPA, SOPA, Cyber Command, FBI backdoors that are into all the systems, releasing worms and things to ruin the old internet. Bring Internet 2, they say, is safe, where you biometrically access to go online, then they can track you, tax you, control you, give you 3 strikes, you're out. Separately, they're coming out with FCC taxpayer-paid-for broadband that the FCC now claims it gives them jurisdiction over the internet, and they're saying they're going to have political officers that go around and visit newsrooms. That's been out for about a year. We broke that about a year ago. It's now been mainstream news. Now the FCC chair warns that conservative media like Drudge Report face regulation like PAX. And the chairman is concerned, because the rest of the committee's going this direction, and Congress is, that these new groups are going to say they're political and tax them as a shadow fairness doctrine. Well, yeah, that was, you couldn't have talk radio till '88 because you, quote, weren't allowed to be political. And if someone heard you political, they would complain, and the FCC would come in and say, let us hear the tapes of your morning show hosts where they bad-mouthing the city council. I mean, think about that. That's how, after World War II, Americans got so compliant with government because we were the good guys that we would let them not let you have your own First Amendment. This is so fundamental. It's even more important than the Second. I mean, they shut your mouth up, folks. You're shut up. Well, here's that headline. Here's another one out of the Hill. FCC's grab for new regulatory power could go beyond broadband providers to the entire internet. They're moving to end net neutrality. Net neutrality's death could spark populist revolt. With echoes of the Gilded Age, Washington coddles moneyed monopolistic internet barons. National Journal breaks it all down. And they're all hitting at every level right now because MSNBC's normal shows have about 90,000 viewers. Their bigger shows, 200,000. Their top show on a top night, when an airplane goes down or something, 600,000. Folks, they're already gone. But we still watch it subconsciously and think it's the authority. They're not going to let us beat them without a fight. They're coming to shut us up, a bunch of authoritarian scum. Here's what Obama said at the Correspondents' Dinner.
MSNBC is here. They're a little overwhelmed. They've never seen an audience this big before.
He makes a joke out of it. He's scared. He knows we know he's a criminal dirtbag piece of filth, anti-American fascist, working for foreign banks, gutting this country. Your phone calls are coming up. Then Jordan Maxwell.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his 2-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.